Summer's here, and Nordstrom has everything you need for your best dress season ever. From beach days and weddings to weekend getaways and your everyday wardrobe. Discover stylish options under $100 from tons of your favorite brands like Mango, Skims, Princess Polly, and Madewell. It's easy too with free shipping and free returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores, online at Nordstrom.com, or download the Nordstrom app.
Ladies, you'll end up shopping for your guy's deodorant, right? So try Degree's Original Cool Rush. You see, last year, Degree changed the formula, and men were mad. One guy even started a petition. So Degree admitted they messed up and brought the Original Cool Rush scent back. It's clean, crisp, and actually smells like someone you want to cuddle. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So toss one in your cart and find out why it's the best-selling men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Spotify.
Live, Laugh, Larceny discusses true petty crimes that may be disturbing to some.
Or could be easy listening to all you psychopaths out there.
All stories are based on actual events, but details may vary.
Listener discretion is not advised.
Live,
Laugh,
Larceny. Welcome to Live, Laugh, Larceny, the show that gets you wetter than a wedgie in the summer. This is Trevin.
And wow, Trevin, I'm Amanda. I'm sorry. It's been a minute since the intro really took my breath away like that. And it is not just the two of us that he told that intro line to. We actually have Amber and Gina from Weird True Crime here, and they had to endure that as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
That was actually the funniest thing I've heard all day. So
10 out of 10.
I thought that just needed to kick the door open today.
Really going to grab people's attention, make sure they're awake, and I'm here for it.
Nothing does that like a wedgie in the summertime.
Yeah, and it's a weird episode, so we're just going to kick it off with weird.
Hey, we're here to make it weird.
Oh my goodness. Well, before we jump into our dilemmas, do you all want to tell our listeners a little bit about your show and about yourselves?
So Amber and I have actually been friends for a very long time. We met in middle school. So we've known each other since I was in 7th grade and she was in 6th grade. And we're both very close to 40 now. So that kind of tells you how long we've known each other. And I kind of decided to take the leap and start this weird little podcast in like August of 2022. And I did about 10 episodes by myself. And Amber was like, dude, I didn't know you started a podcast because I didn't tell anybody that I started it. She was like, that's so cool. I always wanted to do that. And I was like, okay, well then just come do it with me. And that's kind of where we're at. And if it wasn't for Amber, we wouldn't have all these weird, dumb criminal WTF stories to share because she is the what the fuck queen of the podcast.
Ooh, sure. The what the fuck queen. That is a title.
Great. Make me live up to that now.
You do every day.
Hey, comedy is cheaper than therapy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
True.
That's very true.
So with weird true crime, like what can a person expect? Like how weird do we get? And is it just weird in a dumb criminal way or do we get weirder in other segments of the show too?
Actually, we are quite a balance. We have the real true crime cases that we cover. We also do advocacy work. So we have worked with families from time to time. We're very big on the ethical victim-focused storytelling when it comes to those stories and focus a lot on the missing and unsolved. But it's nice to have a balance, and it is a really heavy topic, and it's hard to listen to all the time. And so we like to balance that out every other week by doing our What the Fuck episodes, which is a variety of things. It's the dumb criminals. It's the morgue stories. It's the Pavlov's dogs and weird, psychology history and the history of interrogations, all sorts of things on those episodes. So Amber's the one to speak to that. But we do like a balance, and we find that our listeners like it too. And on those, we got to kind of be ourselves more and laugh and show a lighter side of ourselves than we do on those heavier episodes. And we find that our guests and the families and our community all tend to really like the variety that we have to offer. It's been a fun ride, and it keeps things interesting for us too.
Definitely.
For sure. Trevin and I, we always said that because we are friends with a lot of podcasters that just do serious always. And I think one of the biggest things we hear from them is, I wish we could be a little more fun and lighthearted now and then. So it is nice that you guys do have that break. We always tell people, turn on our show after the really crazy stuff, but you can keep your listeners up and down and all around. So, hey.
It's a balance, because we want to make sure people understand that we're not sitting here making fun of victims or people that have been through the worst of the worst, right?
Totally.
Which is why we like having our What the Fuck segments where we can kind of let our hair down and be a little sillier and make fun of the people who usually deserve it. So, as you know, which is why we thought this was such a great team up, because there's not a lot of true crime podcasts out there that are just doing the lighter, funnier side of true crime, because it is a thing and they all deserve to be made fun of and talked about. So,
oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Yes. You are just preaching to the choir, because we've been saying it for years, like the petty crimes matter too,
But the reason why others don't do it is because they're scared.
They're so scared.
Scared of what though?
I know. It's really just all a good time. So just come on in. We always say, come on into the petty pond. It'll be fine. But Trevin, did you want to go ahead and start us off with dreadful dilemmas this week?
Yes, I have a dreadful dilemma, and it came in the form of an article that came out this last week from futurism.com. And I'm just going to read the article so you can see where my dilemma is going to lead.
Okay.
Sam Altman admits that saying please and thank you to ChatGPT is wasting millions of dollars in computing power.
I'm personally offended. I was just talking to somebody else about this the other day. I am so sweet to all the robots all around me, because you just never know when they're going to turn. My parents have an Alexa. I'm always like, please, Alexa, can you please play this for me? Thank you so much, my darling. ChatGPT, I'm like, can you please help me come up with some SEO hashtags? Oh, thank you. You're the best. Like, don't you dare.
Have they not seen Terminator?
Exactly. A lot of people do feel like that's why they should do it. And it's just so hard because for people who listen to this show, ChatGPT is kind of my other partner, and we love each other very deeply. I just could never stop being kind, but to think that like maybe I'm also, I mean, obviously I know like using AI in general is not good for the environment, but you're telling me being polite is also making me worse of a person? I'm just so torn philosophically on what's right and what's wrong here.
What are we trying to teach the children? All these children that are using ChatGPT to do their homework for them, and they're not supposed to say please or thank you?
That's the least they could do. Like, are you kidding me?
In a world we live in now, we need kindness more than ever, right? I think we should be wasting a little bit of the energy just to bring a little extra kindness, right?
I'm all for that.
Yeah, 100%. That makes no sense to me. Like, the robots and AI are terrifying. The least we can do is be nice to them, so that way when they turn against us, they'll remember who said please and thank you.
Yeah, it's like, check my account. You can check through our text thread, ChatGPT. Like, I was so nice to you. Please don't forget.
I have been nothing but kind. Oh, it's like when my kids tell Alexa to shut up, and I'm like, you can't talk to her that way.
No, seriously. I feel the same. I even told my parents, I was like, you guys don't say thank you to your Alexa? I was shocked.
So I'm just going through this moral quandary, but
Hard disagree.
I don't think I'm going to stop. This was a real wake-up call for me to be a little more conscious of how kind I am to my ChatGPT.
Also, okay, maybe I'm just dense, but how does saying please and thank you to ChatGPT cost money?
So artificial intelligence, it takes a lot of computing power, which can burn a lot of energy and take up a lot of money for it to think, because we haven't really made a way for it to be that efficient. And we keep putting it into things, even though it's not quite to a cheap way of doing it yet. So we're just burning up electricity costs, and it's really bad for the environment. There's a lot of people who are just super against it.
And please and thank you is the problem there. Not all the people that are making AI images for...
I'm sorry, but I'm going to be considerate.
Same.
They do say here, in late 2024 survey, they found 67% of U.S. respondents reported being nice to their chat bots. Of those who practiced courtesy, 55% of American AI users said they do it, quote, because it's the right thing to do, while 12% did it to appease the algorithms in case of an AI uprising.
There's the ones that have seen Terminator.
I'm with the 12%.
I mean, it is the right thing to do, but I am also in fear of a robot army.
Two things can be true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that is dreadful, Trevin. I also have a dreadful dilemma. And since both of you are moms, I'm curious if this has ever happened to you. My oldest daughter is in Taekwondo, and she is 6 right now. So she's still like pretty young for being in the big kid class that she just joined. This was her very first big kid competition where not everyone just got a participation trophy. It was like, you get first, second, third in each thing. And she knew. We warned her. I was like, going in there, like, you could not get a trophy, and we're still going to be proud of you and happy. Like, I tried to build her up, which luckily, guys, that's not the dreadful part. She did place in 2 events. She got 3rd in weapons and 3rd in creative form. So she was like, pow, 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 pow. She crushed it. The dreadful thing, though, is that I felt so dumb at the end, because after they choose who got 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, they gave all the kids little poker chips. And I was like, this is really weird. Like, their prize is a poker chip? Like, I was really confused. And it turns out that you take the poker chip to another table, turn it in, and then you get your trophy. But at first I thought the trophy was a poker chip, and I was so confused looking around, and finally someone was like, no, you go get the trophies over there. And I was like, oh.
It kind of just feels like an extra step, though.
Yeah, just an extra.
Why wouldn't you just give them the trophy?
Totally. I guess there were a lot of different mats in one gym, so I'm like, maybe they just wanted to keep the trophies at this one table, and I don't know. This is kind of a new world for me that I'm figuring out how they do things. But I was just shocked. I was like, oh, great poker chip, daughter.
And lose that immediately.
And everyone was like, no, ding-a-ling. You go get the trophy from it over there. So
Why not just have their name on a list?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm Lyla. I got 3rd place. I'm like, oh, yeah,
Right.
That's interesting. So I guess the trophy looks different depending on what they placed.
Yeah, because it said 3rd place on it.
Okay.
And the chips were different colors depending what place you got. And that's just the way they keep it organized, I guess. But it was just one of those mom moments where I was like, where am I and what am I doing? You know?
It seems like a lot of work. I could understand maybe because with a sport like that, by giving them the poker chip and then saying, okay, you go do it, it kind of gives them a level of responsibility.
Yeah, that's true.
That I think is kind of expected in a sport like that. So I can understand it from that perspective, but it does just seem like a really unnecessary extra step. I would have been just as confused. I'd be like, what is this?
What?
This is the weirdest trophy ever.
I also feel like it softens them up for like mob behavior, because something about that just seems kind of shady.
Like, turn your poker chips in.
Or you could just shadily switch with somebody else and then go get a 1st place trophy instead of a 3rd.
Oh, counterfeit. Yo, that's a good idea.
Oh, bring your own poker chip.
Amanda will be the mom that has like an article that she brought a counterfeit 1st place for Lyla to get 1st.
They're going to be like, Mom rigs Taekwondo competition with her own DIY poker chip.
That you bought on Amazon, just like they did.
Wow. If I want to get petty, at least I know how it's done now.
Yeah, the style.
Mm-hmm.
No, I would never. God. Anyways, do
so
either
funny.
of you have a dreadful dilemma you would like to share?
So, whenever Gina mentioned that this is something that you do, and I'm like, I don't know. I complain about things all the time, but I don't know. And then it hit me. Walked into my bedroom and I saw my husband's side of the bed. When we met in 2003, All he wore were white t-shirts and like blue jeans, most of them holier than people on Sunday. It wasn't that bad. Like it could have been a whole lot worse, like saggy, low, Jinkos, whatever. It got old. So, after a while we got married and I did what every woman does, try to change him.
Right.
I mean, his wardrobe. I tried to change his wardrobe. So I got him into graphic tees, Venom and Deadpool and like the hip things and the things that he does like, I'm not just pushing them on him.
You're not just forcing his eyeballs
Right.
open, making him watch the Marvel movies. And
You like these?
He likes these. He's like, like, make a comment about something like Guns N' Roses, some of his favorite bands. So I've provided all of these said t-shirts. They're hanging up nicely in his closet. But now he's a mechanic, he works on cars for a living and he chooses to wear his work uniform all the time.
Oh my God.
Yesterday, his day off, he wakes up, guess what he puts on?
Oh no.
They're comfortable.
We need the fashion police. We need the what not to wear team. I know none of these shows exist anymore. Because they're kind of problematic, but it seems like he needs some help.
Our 12-year-old daughter ends up wearing his graphic tees more than him now, so at least they're getting some use.
Okay. They're getting used.
Also, it's not like men's clothes are uncomfortable.
That's what I was thinking. It's like the comfort, and I don't like to be mentally reminded of work, so I don't want to wear a work uniform.
So, most mechanics or, shops, they'll have a uniform company where the company will come pick up and wash them and they come back very starched and stiff and whatnot. Well, he doesn't do that. He makes me wash them at home. So they're nice and soft and they're way better. So I get it. But dear God, now I'm wishing for the white t-shirts again.
Can we just go back to 2003?
Go back.
Maybe you need your own pair of his work uniform to see if it feels as good for you.
Funny story. I've recently lost about 130 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Congrats.
At my heaviest, I had this very specific dress that I wore. And I don't mean that I just had the one. I mean, I bought 6 of this same exact dress and I wore them every single day. So thank you for saying that because I just need to remind him, hey, honey, you remember the skull dress I always used to wear? This is what the work uniform is for me, buddy.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh, you have a comparison now.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Great job, Trevin. Because I get what you mean. Sometimes you need that one specific thing that triggers them to make them see what triggers you.
It's triggering in a loving way.
Yeah.
Loving trigger.
I don't know. My husband's really into, as we call them, moo-moos. Okay, I don't know. He said it's easy breezy. I understand that, dresses can sometimes be like more comfortable than like jeans or whatever. So I get it, but maybe like he needs to find his moo-moo. Maybe not a dress, but maybe like a different type of like onesie that isn't like a mechanic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Have the mechanic logo on it.
Exactly. There's options. Well, Gina, do you have a dreadful dilemma?
So I feel like mine is kind of basic, but when there's like that specific thing you need from the store and you go to the store multiple times and you still never get the thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I cook a lot, or I try to cook a lot, and my husband loves salt. It's a problem. So we go through salt pretty quickly because he thinks I don't season anything, right? Even though I do. But I keep not cooking because we haven't had salt for me to season anything. And I keep going to the store to get like shampoo or something else. I'm like, I'll just get salt while I'm there. Do I get salt? No. So here we are 2 weeks later and it's Sunday and I'm like trying to prep dinner and I still don't have freaking salt.
Oh, 2 weeks without salt. That is dreadful.
It is. In a house where salt is king, it's a problem. I'm like, well, I guess I can't cook dinner again. And we're just going to have to DoorDash another $100 meal because I can't season the pork loin that I was going to cook for dinner instead of driving to the store to just,
Wow, 2 weeks of sad meals.
Really and truly. I mean, I get it.
bland, sad meals.
Sodium isn't the best for us, but my God, it tastes delicious.
It does. Like breakfast tacos this morning without salt, it's just not the same.
Oh, that's criminal.
That's the worst too, because like you keep letting it go by, but then you just keep constantly being reminded of the mistake you've made.
I'm like, oh, I still forgot it, but I have to go do these other things before I can go get the salt. And then by the time I remember, I've forgotten again.
Do you use Instacart? You could Instacart it, just like a DoorDash. Just throw it on in there. And then one day you'll wake up or come home and there it will be.
It's funny you said that because I actually did think about this morning. I was like, I really should just Instacart some salt today. So maybe while we're sitting here doing this, I'll just...
Hey, no judgment on my end. You get your salt, girl.
You do what you got to do sometimes. You know, if it means not ordering out again, you know,
right.
You'll take the delivery fee for the salt.
That's what I tell myself.
Yeah. So minor dilemma, but one of those things that has been going on for so long that now it's just kind of ridiculous.
And I think it's one that everyone can relate to. It might not be the salt, but everyone's had that thing.
It's the face wash or the soap or the toilet paper or paper towel, whatever it is.
Or the peanut butter. I feel like that always happens to me. My kids are like, PB&J. And I'm like, what about a J? You know?
Do I have something else that can be a PB? I don't know. Nutella?
Emily actually likes butter and jam.
Oh, yeah. I do love me
you can just do
butter.
a B&J.
Okay. Look, I'm not a peanut butter person. So if we're out of peanut butter, I'm the last person that will notice. So I'm the weirdo. I don't know.
It's okay. Everyone has their thing.
This episode is brought to you by Pluto TV. Are you looking for your next case? Pluto TV has all your favorite crime dramas streaming for free, which means suspicion is free, with countless cases to crack. Watch CSI, Criminal Minds, NCIS, Blue Bloods, Tracker, FBI, and SWAT, all for free from all your favorite devices. Feel the free. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku. And it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
This episode is brought to you by SelectQuote. Life insurance can have a huge impact on our family's future. With SelectQuote, getting covered with the right policy for you is simple and affordable. SelectQuote's licensed insurance agents will tailor your experience to find a life insurance policy for your needs in as little as 15 minutes. And SelectQuote partners with carriers that provide policies for many conditions. SelectQuote. They shop, you save. Go to selectquote.com/SpotifyPod today to get started.
Well, this week we are going to be doing something a little bit different with our guests. We are going to be talking about weird crimes or weird news headlines, and we're all going to take turns going around sharing some. So I'm so excited for this because Trevin and I, we run into this quite often where we'll find something that has an amazing, gripping, bizarre headline. And then sometimes when we get into the details, maybe we're not inspired to write an entire story about it. Or maybe once we dig in a little deeper, it's a little too serious or not exactly quite what we thought. But we still wish we could just chat about these weird things. So this episode is perfect for this.
Yeah, because we all talk about weird stuff. We're just going to do a bit of a round table of weird, take turns. And who wants to go first?
Do you want to go first, Trevin?
Suppose I could.
You did your dilemma first. We could just...
Yeah.
I don't have mine pulled up. That is why I nominated you.
So to start this one off, it's actually a recent mystery that's just happened here at the end of March. And the headline reads, "It's a lot of pee. Man has no idea who is putting gallons of urine in his recycling bin or why."
I was about to take a drink right before you said that, and I had to stop. Wow.
That is quite a mystery.
Color me intrigued.
Alex Van Dunn said the problem started in September when he noticed his recycling bin had not been collected. "So I went to open the blue bin, and lo and behold, there was a nice deposit of gallon-sized bottles of urine, to put it plainly, and there were 6 of them," he said. "The The recycling hauler refused to take the bin's contents because urine is a biohazard. If it had been placed in the garbage bin, it would have been collected. But the mystery man didn't stop and kept dropping bottles of urine in the bin. Eventually, Van Dunn stopped putting his bins out on the curb altogether, hoping the man would quit. And he did, but he moved to using the neighbor's garbage bins instead. I don't know why he's hitting the same location so many times. That doesn't make sense to me, and why he's doing it, Van Dunn said. Van Dunn has captured surveillance video of the man showing up at his house, getting out of his car, and placing the bottles of urine in the recycling bin. Unfortunately, the videos are grainy and too hard to tell who he is.
So this is an ongoing, unsolved crime of recycled urine? Like, what?
Yeah, he's still trying to figure out who it is.
Okay, so someone's just driving around with gallon-sized jugs of their own pee, and they're like, oh, gonna put it in there.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's my question. Why do they have so much urine? Is it all their own? Are they collecting it from other people? Are they collecting it from pets? Where is all the pee coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it is just one person, they are going out of their way to just collect it over the span of a week, I guess, if it's just trash day.
Yeah. And my first thought was, okay, what did this guy do to piss this other person off to make them put gallons of pee in the recycle bin? But it sounds like it's not just him. Like, he's not special.
It's not a personal attack.
It sounds like it's just a crime of convenience that his recycle bin was right there. And then when that stopped happening, on to the next.
There's nothing worse than a crime of convenience.
No. And is it just a mistake that they're putting in the recycle bin and not the normal trash can? Like, maybe they think they're just disposing of it, not in their own. They probably have run out of room in their own bin for these gallons.
Oh my God.
I'm up to my ears in piss. I gotta put it somewhere else, you know?
What are you doing?
Just go in the toilet, please. You can even pee on your own grass for all I care. Just don't do that to your neighborhood folks.
Also, are you okay?
So the article ends with, Van Dunn doesn't plan to move or take extreme measures. He loves the neighborhood, which he has lived in since 2006. But he does have a message for the mystery man. Quote, maybe he's watching. I don't know. Please stop. Please just don't do it anymore, he said. As frustrated as he is, Van Dunn was at least able to make a joke of the situation. Quote, it's a lot of pee, he said. I mean, this guy's really pissing me off.
I was really hoping that pun was going to be thrown in there.
No.
Sorry.
Well, that's why you didn't write a full story, Trevin. The article basically wrote it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I love the dude's mystery, but I just needed a little bit more. Like, maybe when the guy gets caught, I can like connect the dots to make a full story.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's so much unknown.
So many questions.
So many. Like you were saying, Amber, you're like, whose is it? Where did it come from? What?
I'm more interested in the why. Like, why do you have so much than the why are you doing that? I know a lot of people that are guilty of probably disposing, like if your bins are already full and you have stuff to get rid of, you're going to ask if you can put it in somebody else's or sneakily put it in like a community trash can or something like that. But like this, it's like, it's just why pee? And why?
Like, no one wants to be a part of this.
No.
You can dump it in the grass.
Would it kill the grass? I don't know.
Large amounts might, and that kind of seems like large amounts.
This guy can really pee.
Surrounded by pregnant women? Jeez.
This is in Portland, Oregon. If any of our listeners can help us crack this case, like these other true crime friends of ours, we're still waiting for our big break. So if that can be the one that we can help solve.
We've had a few unsolved ones that were like, if we can solve this mystery,
we can do anything.
That's a good one.
Oh, man, that's awful.
Well, I can go next, guys, because I feel like this is different, but a good next one. Okay. So I got this from people.com. It is an article written by Morgan Rom, and this is the title. Oscar Mayer's 27-foot-long Wienermobile was pulled over and given a frank warning.
Everybody's a comic, you know.
Everyone's a comedian. And then it even says like, hey, dog, slow down. I'm like, okay, don't push your luck.
One's enough.
Why do I like that one more, though?
So the article says, according to a now viral Facebook post, an officer from the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department in Wisconsin pulled over Oscar Mayer's 27-foot-long Wienermobile on Sunday, January 26th. What year was this? Let me look real quick. Oh, 2020. So this is a few years old, but wow, so damn funny. They were pulled over for not following the move over law. The law requires motorists to either change lanes or slow down when they see a vehicle stopped on the side of the road with its emergency lights on, which that's kind of fascinating to me. I've always just thought etiquette and safety wise that that's just like what you do. But to see that there was a real law like in Wisconsin, I wonder if we have one here in Missouri. I don't know, but I like it. Oh, yeah. I think everyone should get over and not hit people.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then it continues on. Lynn Gallia, a spokesperson for the Kraft Heinz Company, which owns Oscar Mayer, clarified to CNN that drivers of the Wienermobile, also known as hot doggers, do get extensive behind-the-wheel training before they can go out on the road.
So their actual job title is a hot dogger?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm not exaggerating. And then there's
an honorary hot dogger.
There's even a quote, and she even uses hot dogger. So this is what she has to say. Since the inception of the hot dogger program, we've promoted safety first and ensured all hot doggers are up to date on all rules of the road. We have reinforced the importance of obeying all traffic laws, including the move over law, and will continue to ensure safe roadways for all.
I can assure you there's nothing silly about being a hot dogger.
I'm sorry, the entire time I've just had the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse song going in my head. You know, the whole hot dog, it's all I can hear right now.
Hot diggity dog.
Maybe that's what they were listening to. They were just so enraptured by the music in the hot dog mobile that they didn't even realize that there was a situation.
Yeah, I could see there could be a lot of distractions inside a Wienermobile that probably they just didn't see them. And luckily they didn't get charged. They didn't get a ticket. It was just a frank warning, as they said. There's a picture of the Wienermobile pulled over that someone took, and there's the cop car behind it. We'll post it when this episode comes out. But I was just like, how funny would that be to just drive by and be like, oh, they're pulled over.
I love that so much. I don't know why the Wienermobile is so weird to me. Like, I've never been one that's like, oh man, I really want to see that, or that's so cool. I'm just like, that's a giant driving hot dog. Like, it's weird. Why?
And it really probably isn't the safest.
No.
Are there airbags in there?
Driving it would be so scary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like the bun would get in the way of your blind spot.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like a dangerous situation on wheels.
I don't know about you, sister, but my bun gets in the way of my blind spot all the time.
All the time.
That's all of us, Trevin. Thank you.
Honestly, trying to slow down a maneuver to give space is probably more dangerous. Driving that thing, it probably puts other people in danger more than just like continuing to go.
It probably handles like a shopping cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a loose wheel on the left, and you're like...
You have to make the decision like way ahead of time so you can finally be in the right space in time.
Yeah. I feel like there was probably a logical explanation for why they couldn't like obey the traffic laws. It's like, cool, I'm either going to hit somebody head on because I'm trying to get over and give you enough space, or I'm just going to have to like keep going.
It would be kind of funny if the driver was just like, listen, I have a really big wiener. Like, I can't just merge like a normal person. If someone said that to me and I randomly was a police officer, I would laugh and just be like, okay, LOL, get out of here.
Yep.
You would make a better man than me for sure. I would never think of saying that to anybody.
Well, who's up next? Do you want to go next, Amber?
I can. You know, we'll just go in the order of our dilemmas.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Gina and I were trying to figure out what we were going to bring to the table, like one of our favorite things to do, as a matter of fact, I requested it for my birthday last year for us to do dumb criminals, just the dumbest criminals we could possibly find. But we did a little twist this time. We talk a lot about Ohio and Florida man on our show, but we decided, you know, we're going to bring you some of our home state, Texas stories.
Oh, good. I've been meaning to ask you where you were even. I knew you said Central Time, but I wasn't sure where.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in Austin.
Texas.
Nice. Okay. Hey, everything's bigger there apparently. So
it's a big state. There's lots of really dumb people here.
Yeah. A lot more people to choose from, huh?
There's no shortage of the dumb here.
No.
So, you know, most dogs chase the mail carrier for sport. It's like a canine rite of passage. But apparently in McAllen, Texas, one four-legged genius had evolved past that. No, this isn't the dog barking at FedEx truck. He's waiting for it to leave so he can steal packages. Yep,
No
that's right.
way.
Yep. A stray dog was caught on doorbell cam back in March of 2020. So we're back, in 2020, committing petty theft like a seasoned porch pirate. Move over, Florida man. We've got Texas dog.
Ooh, woof, woof.
So the Garza family had been dealing with some disappearing deliveries. And at first they probably suspected your usual suspects, shady neighbors, bored teenagers, porch pirates in hoodies. But then they rolled back the Ring footage and boom, plot twist. Their thief wasn't wearing a mask. He was covered in fur. It was kind of funny because nobody would ever expect a dog to steal a package, said 10-year-old Abby Garza, the pint-sized eyewitness to this crime spree. And honestly, she's not wrong. Like, that's not even in the top 50 reasons Amazon gives for delayed shipping. And no, this also wasn't just a random dog having a moment, This furry felon had a system. He waits. Yes, actually waits for the mail truck to leave. Like he knows the route. Like he pays taxes. Then he casually strolls up to the porch, gives the package a little sniff like, is this prime or regular shipping? And then grabs it in his mouth and runs off like he's got a job to do. So what's he stealing? Juicy steak, maybe a tennis ball, something that would actually attract him. No, the first package was Abby's mom's clothes. Interesting. Okay. And the second, Abby's Easter basket. He chewed all over it. Honestly, the audacity.
Oh.
But here's where it gets even better. The neighborhood is just like, oh yeah, that's the dog. He steals stuff.
Enablers.
So now if someone finds a chewed up delivery abandoned in their yard, they just do a casual return to sender. Forget FedEx, forget USPS. McAllen's got the community dog-to-door recovery system.
Oh my God.
So this was caught on footage on a Ring cam?
Ring doorbell camera saw, you could actually see the dog kind of sitting off to the side. Mailman drives up, delivers his package. Dog watches the mailman drive off. Takes a moment, walks up, grabs the package, bam, there you go.
Wow.
That's a smart dog.
That really is. Did you say what type of dog it was? Did you say?
It didn't say. I do have a picture of the little homie. He kind of maybe looks like a black lab or something. It's a Ring camera, so it's not the best quality picture. But yeah, no, he's just doing his thing.
And it's a decent size because he has to be able to lift up packages.
And have the mouth size to hold it.
Right. Huh.
That's so funny.
To think that a dog is just pondering in its mind, like, okay, wait for that truck to leave. Wait for that. I'm going to go get it now. It's like,
coast is clear.
That smart little ornery little turd.
I kind of think, I'm like, they say he's a stray dog. He doesn't have an owner. So it's not an owner training him and coaxing him like, okay, buddy,
Right.
Go do this now. So he's a stray.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking he was, someone else's dog down the block, but you did say he was a stray. He's probably just like, I'm surviving out here. I'm going to take anything in this package I want.
Yep.
And I love how the neighborhood is just like, it's just what he does. It's fine.
That's Roger. Who knows?
I just lost, a $50 order to this stray dog, but it's fine. We'll just let him continue to roam around and steal stuff. It's cute.
At least they have proof for the Amazon return saying hey, my dog stole my package and there you go.
That's true. It's kind of like the dog ate my homework, though. I wonder if they were like, I don't know about that until they showed them the Ring footage.
The picture.
No, really.
Oh, it's a dog really did.
It's not my dog. I don't even know where it went.
Now that you mention it, though, I do kind of want to see that list of the top reasons why your package is delayed.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's...
I bet he's got a cool treasure trove of stolen things.
Like the Little Mermaid, he has a little...
Exactly what I was thinking.
A little cave of whatchamacallits.
He's got gadgets and gizmos aplenty.
He sings to himself while he looks at them.
Aw, I would love that. And it's just all shitty off-brand Amazon things.
Yeah, and he's like, I just want to be part of that world. Oh,
Look,
what
as long
a
as
good
he's
one.
happy. I know. Okay, this one was pretty funny and it popped up a lot. This one is from Lufkin, Texas. So in what can only be described as a festive but felonious stunt, 23-year-old Avante Nicholson is now the subject of an active police search after he allegedly hid plastic Easter eggs filled with marijuana around town and encouraged people to find them via clues posted on social media. So this happened this Easter.
Oh,
It was
for
on 420.
Yes, on 420.
I kept calling it Weed Stir all day. I was like, happy Weed Stir, everyone.
Oh, man. I didn't even get to enjoy it like that. I was like, I'm ready to go home and put on my pajamas. I just don't care. So this sounds way more fun. But until a young girl stumbled upon one of the eggs while visiting a park with her grandfather.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's where this crosses the line. Like, anyone could get that egg. That's very reckless.
Especially if you're going to put it in a public park on Easter, where I'm sure they have other Easter egg hunts and, community activities going on.
Totally.
You can't just put a weed egg in there and not expect anything to happen, right? So the police department was, of course, informed about this egg. An investigation was started, and they found out that he had shared photos and hints online to guide people to the eggs. And he reportedly posted that anyone who had shopped with him, because he was a drug dealer, the day that he hid the eggs would receive additional clues. So it was all marketing. It's like, if you come buy from me, I'll give you more clues about where I hid these eggs, so you can go find extra free product.
Oh, that's fun.
Do we know in what form the marijuana was? Was it a gummy? Because that would make it even worse.
No.
Like if a kid saw the gummy, or was it like actual like?
It was actual
buds.
like buds in a baggie.
Oh my God.
I have a picture I can send.
Wow.
Yeah, so there were 5 Easter eggs total. There was one placed on a car seat, and police later confirmed he had hidden them in 3 local parks and behind a Motel 6. Yeah, so the police recovered about 1/4 of an ounce across the 5 eggs, and they were all easily accessible to children, which is, of course, a huge no-no. And the guy has still not been found. They know his name. They know who he is. He has a previous record. Still haven't found him.
Oh, so he's just hiding.
He's on the run?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, Easter Bunny's coming after his ass.
I mean, that would definitely be fun for like a grown-up party at a house. Like, let's have a weed Easter egg hunt. Sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
Maybe don't just put them all over in a town filled with little kids out.
That is very unsafe and reckless. Yeah, no, Trevin and I were very pro 420, very pro marijuana, whatever. But I even did a crime once where a bride put marijuana in her wedding food, and everyone like panicked. Well, not everyone. Some people were fine, but but a lot of people panicked and had to go to the hospital. And Trevor and I were like, we're all for consenting adults doing whatever, but in this instance, to put it in a place where children clearly are going to want to look for Easter egg hunts is like not cool, obviously.
No, like the grandfather was very lucky that he was there when it happened, because what if that little girl had found it and like, what is this? And tried it or something.
Right.
You know, that would have been a whole other situation. I did see that article about the woman putting weed in her food. I was like, that's funny, but you got to let people know if you're going to do stuff like that.
It's not the worst drug or whatever, but not everyone wants to do that. Do not do that for anybody, for anything. That took it to like another level though.
Yeah, I can't look at Easter egg hunts the same way now. It's like, I didn't even think about that, but now I kind of want to do one.
I know.
It was on 420 this year. There was bound to be somebody pulling a stupid stunt. So
he was just dumb enough to post it all over Facebook.
I know. Yeah. And to put it everywhere like a marketing campaign. What was this idiot thinking?
Yeah, easy to give yourself away. We celebrated Easter 420 this year. It was everybody had a bunch of busy stuff going on, so we actually just took it and made it our holiday and didn't go celebrate with the families at all. So we woke up and I had a great hip hop playlist, and we made a big helping of biscuits and gravy, and we gave each other Easter baskets.
You did?
Yeah, and then I
Aw.
said, let's treat it like we would, because she's very big on traditions, like with Christmas. She's like, let's watch a Christmas movie in the morning. So I said, we should treat this like a holiday, and we'll watch holiday movie today, too. So we watched Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, and then we watched Your Highness. We had recently watched Superbad, so I was like, we're not going to do that one. But yeah, it was just a very chill day, and I can't remember, we had something delicious for dinner that day, too. But you just got to take advantage of when two holidays intersect like that.
That sounds like the perfect celebration. I'm going to be honest.
I know. I'm
lovely.
like biscuits and gravy. Woo.
Seriously.
I'm hungry, Trevin. Don't do this to me.
I'm sorry.
There's a good chance you're dealing with a middleman, like me, when you get your medicines. That's because PBMs and insurers are often the same company. We even own big chain pharmacies and are buying your doctor's office. We decide what medicines you can get, where you get them, and how much you pay. It's a win-win. For me.
When middlemen own it all, you lose. Visit phrma.org/middlemen to learn more. Paid for by Pharma.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Customizable, fast, easy. All words Carvana customers have used to describe buying and financing their car with Carvana. We want to make your car financing journey hassle-free. Carvana has thousands of affordable cars, transparent pricing, and customizable terms. We do everything in our power to give you the power to find, finance, and buy the perfect car. Go to Carvana.com to finance your car today. Terms may apply.
This episode is brought to you by Factor. Optimize your nutrition this year with Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal service. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from 40 weekly options across 8 dietary preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Eat smarter at factormeals.com/listen50 and use code listen50 for 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Factormeals.com/listen50, code listen50. T's and C's apply.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn to go next.
Yes.
Okay, so this is one I could not quite turn into a story, or at least I didn't want to do the story, but there's just something so wild about it. Headline from EastIdahoNews.com. Woman called AAA during standoff to fix tire police had just spiked. A 45-year-old woman was arrested Wednesday and accused of leading police on a high-speed chase on I-70 and then calling for roadside assistance after officers spiked her tire. Anna Mae Martinez was booked into the Emery County Jail for investigation of reckless driving and failing to stop for police. The events began about 5:20 p.m., where they were spotted by Utah Highway Patrol going 120 miles per hour. Quote, I reached a speed of 130 miles per hour in an attempt to catch the vehicle, Trooper wrote in the affidavit. By the time the trooper had caught up to the vehicle, Martina was going 95 miles per hour, but as soon as the troopers got behind her flashing the lights, she then accelerated back up to 130 miles per hour. They attempted to spike her vehicle twice. They were successful on the second try, nearly 100 miles away from where she was first spotted. Wow. Quote, the vehicle's left front tire lost air and the vehicle pulled to the right side of the road and came to a stop. Traffic was shut down and a high-risk stop was performed with multiple troopers. The driver and sole occupant of the vehicle failed to obey any commands to exit the vehicle or roll down the window. I tried multiple times to get Martinez to roll down a window or exit the vehicle while yelling as loud as I could. A PA speaker was also used to get Martinez to obey commands.
Wait, did they just think, we gotta shout louder, then she'll listen? Like if she's not listening to you at like a normal speaking tone, you don't need to get a megaphone and be like, I'm louder now.
It's like trying to do that to your kids. It doesn't work.
Yeah, like it never works, guy. When are you going to learn?
I just repeated myself but louder. It didn't get me anywhere. About 40 minutes into the ensuing standoff, police say Martinez called AAA to get her tire fixed. Roadside assistance company transferred the call to the police, who in turn transferred the call to a trooper at the scene. Quote, I was able to talk to Martinez into exiting the vehicle. Martinez was placed under arrest and transported to Emery County Jail.
I'm sorry, that's a little embarrassing for her because she's over here like, I know how to get out of this. I'm going to call AAA. They'll come fix my tire and I'll just simply drive away. And she calls them and they're like, sure, ma'am. Put her on hold, transfer to the police. And then they transfer to the guy on scene. And she's like, hello, hello. And then she looks out her window and he's like, hi, ma'am. Can you please Please now. Please get out.
We know you called AAA. Like,
The AAA guy like splits the crowd and is like, "Excuse me, gentlemen, I have a job to do." And the police step back for Mr. AAA.
and they like let him fix the tire. Like, how did she think that was gonna go down?
Shit, how did she get past us on this one?
I know, they're like, well, we can't stop this man doing an honest day's work. Like, what? Of course they can.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Like, okay, was there drugs involved? Was she in an impaired state to begin with? And that's why she was driving recklessly and making very, very poor life choices? If there wasn't, what planet is she from? Where does that train of thought come from?
Nobody runs that hard for no reason. You don't run from the cops at 140 miles an hour and go 100 miles for no reason and then refuse to get out of the car.
Did it ever say any details of any sort of motive, Trevin, of why they were even going at that speed? Because that is very, very high.
Or like why she wouldn't stop.
Yeah, I didn't see anything else on it.
She's like, I just want to speed. Let me go.
She's channeling her inner Danica. Like, I get it. That's fine. But like, let's keep it speed limit.
Yeah, right. Like 5 over. Let's go.
I know. I go 10 over. I'm like, I don't know. I'm really pushing it right now.
I know.
Yeah, that doesn't even have pictures of them. So
Oh, man.
maybe Utah is just a little bit nicer to not putting that much information out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Utah.
Mighty white of you.
So I have another story, and I have to give a shout out to my mom. She actually sent this to me, and I think this is the very, 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 very first one that my mom has ever sent to me. My dad sends me weird petty crimes all the time, and a lot of times I'm like, Dad, that's even a little too much for me to do. But my mom sent me this one, and I was like, this is perfect, but I didn't know how to turn it into a full story. So here we go. This is from NBCnews.com. Oh, this is an interesting, I like to say the people's name who write the article, but I don't know if I can pronounce this. Minyavon Burke? Minyavon. Who knows? So, the name of the article, Woodpecker damages more than 20 vehicles in Massachusetts town. Trevin, I know you've done that one petty crime back in the day where you had all the characters talking about like this prisoner that they were keeping trapped in a cage. And anyway, it turned out to be a bird. In the end, I was like, I could have probably done something where all these cars were just getting damaged and then do that at the end. But you've already kind of done it, you know?
Bird twist.
The article says, a seaside Massachusetts town appears to have fallen prey to an overzealous pileated woodpecker? Question mark? That damaged more than 20 vehicles, a resident said. For weeks, Rockport locals have dealt with broken car windshields and side mirrors. Resident Janelle Favallaro was able to capture a photo of the culprit, a large crow-sized bird whacking away at vehicles. There's a quote saying, "We seem to have a vandal in our neighborhood. I'm describing him as an 18 to 24 inch tall bird wearing black and white with a red hat." Is how the gal describes the bird.
Oh, he's wearing a hat.
So Favallaro continued saying, the woodpecker showed up and landed on the windshield wipers of the RV in our yard and was looking at its reflection. And we were like, you know what? I bet he was the one that damaged the mirrors as well. Well, there you go. You solved the crime. It says, a pileated woodpecker is nearly the size of a crow and has white stripes down the neck and a flaming red crest, according to allaboutbirds.org. And then we also had a quote from Ron McGill, Zoo Miami's communications director, kind of explained that the woodpecker's aggression may have been because it was peak mating season. So there was a quote from him saying, this time of year is breeding season. So all these male birds, not just pileated woodpeckers, but all birds, are getting into a very aggressive territorial courtship display. He continued on saying, if they see the reflections of themselves, they don't understand its reflection. They think it's a competitor.
I understand that internal struggle of like that fight with yourself.
You're just pecking at your mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was funny to have a vandal woodpecker. I mean, everyone's probably at least had a woodpecker wake them up on a weekend you know, just pecking away at their house. But I've never heard of one that was just going around like in one location, just damaging cars left and right. That seemed unhinged to me.
It's just looking for his mate.
He was picking a fight left and right, ready to be the top dog. So
He's just like fighting himself in all these car mirrors. Dude, calm down. Like, maybe just pick him up and move him somewhere else where there's not so many like reflections of himself everywhere.
He cannot be trusted with a reflection.
This is why I don't wash my car all the time. Birds aren't going to get pissed off at it.
There you go. They can't see themselves well enough on the window.
Yeah, that's my excuse too. Wow, I didn't think that we would have two crimes shared today that were both animal culprits.
I know. This is actually, I was thinking before I was telling this, it's kind of a sneak peek of what Trevin and I do sometimes on our Patreon, is we've done a couple just episodes where it's just funny animals in the news or weird animals in the news or whatever. We love a good animal crime.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't? I have a thief raccoon right now, actually, who likes to get into our trash bins. I literally had to go drill in these straps that you can clip closed so like the bin can't be opened.
Oh, yeah.
Because this thing goes into our trash bins every night and just tears apart our trash bags.
Wow.
And so it's completely destroyed our bin. I took the trash out after dark one night and I opened it and like threw the trash bag in, and I heard this like scuffle sound and this thing like brush across my chest, and I didn't see anything though because it was pitch dark, and I hear this and I turn and there's this raccoon just running. I was like, my life just flashed before my eyes. Like I could have died.
I'm panicking right now for you.
It's like, I'm so lucky it didn't just like attack me.
Yeah, what if it was just like, ah! And like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what a raccoon does on its spare time.
I don't
know if it claws out faces, but
But our 12-year-old is usually the one who takes the trash out. And I just happened to be the one to do it that night. And I was like, okay, new rule. You can't take the trash out after dark anymore.
Oh, I thought you were going to say only they can do it and not you.
I'm never taking the trash out again, children. This is all on you. Bye.
That sounds like something Dad would say. So that's your job after dark now, just to like scare him a little bit, you know?
Oh my
but
God.
Yeah, so you gotta love the animals, like the audacity. It's just like,
oh yeah,
really?
They don't have the social shame feeling holding them back that a normal person would. So yeah, they can just do whatever they want, I guess.
I wish I could feel like that sometimes, just in like the social shame, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's me again. Hi.
Yes.
Hi. Okay. All right. Listen. So, like, if I make it to the age of 83 and I still have the energy to swing broomsticks at intruders and throw boiling water like a boss, I will consider that a peak life achievement.
Yeah.
So, let me introduce you to Lily McClendon, the Houston grandma who took zero crap from a would-be robber and left him with some serious regrets and possibly third-degree sausage water burns.
Holy shit.
So it's 4:30 in the morning back in July of 2014. We're traveling a little bit back in time now. You know, most of us at this time are drooling into our pillows, but not Lily. She's up early cooking for a family barbecue. You know, so she's in the kitchen, she's doing her thing when she hears something in the bedroom. She goes to check it out, opens her door, and there's this guy standing there. And not just like standing there. He's got one of her late husband's shirts wrapped around his face like a freaking discount ninja. Only his eyes are showing. So then he grabs her and demands to know where the money is. Cue cliche-induced eye roll. So this could have been the part where things got tragic and we wouldn't be talking about it right now, you know. But no, not on Lily's watch. She looks him dead in the eye and says, "Your mother raised you that way? Why do you want to take advantage of an 83-year-old woman?" Awesome, but also game on. She doesn't scream. She doesn't run. She grabs the aforementioned pot of boiling sausage water off the stove and throws it on him. Like, excuse me? You just weaponized breakfast. But does that stop him? No. This idiot keeps shouting, "Where's the money?" Like, dude, maybe take a hint from your boiling pores and leave, you know? So Lily goes for round 2. She grabs not 1, but 2 broomsticks because, of course she has backup. And she starts beating him. I don't know if he expected this to go down like Ocean's 11, but what he got was more like Golden Girls meets WWE. Eventually, he runs off like a scalded little gremlin, but not before ripping off her landline phone off the wall because apparently he wanted to end his petty crime with a little bit of vandalism. So Lily, just cool as ever, just runs next door and calls the cops. Police show up and confirm he got in by removing burglar bars from a window. And if that isn't an Alanis Morissette worthy kind of ironic, I don't know what is. Like, burglar bars are supposed to, bar burglars. Anyway, Lily described the man as about 25 years old, 5'8", 150 pounds, and presumably covered in sausage water shame. And then there's Clarence Brandley, one of Lily's 37 grandkids. Yeah, 37.
Oh, my God.
Who said he's just glad grandma's okay. And he called her feisty. Feisty.
To say the least.
I would say so.
No, sir. Your grandmother is a straight up vigilante. If she's not teaching self-defense classes like now in the future, like we really missed an opportunity there. Like, honestly, someone get this woman a cape, a Netflix deal, and like a cookware line of weaponry. Mm-hmm. Seriously, she's the superhero we did not know we needed.
Like, she could team up with Stanley or something and have some sort of like scolding sausage water squirt gun that stays warm.
Exactly.
She can take this shit on the road,
Yep, exactly.
I'm obsessed. I'm all for defending yourself. If anyone's coming up in my house looking like a discount ninja and they're saying, "Give me your money," which, how does he even know she has money? I mean, she's boiling sausage, for God's sakes. Like, leave her alone.
Up at 4:30 in the morning. Like, I have to wake up that time every morning for my job. But like, it's not a time of morning where I would recommend to anybody ever. Somebody who's like up and put together and like doing things, like that's not the type of person you want to mess with.
No. She's trying to feed her family. You don't come in the middle of that.
Nope.
No, he definitely wasn't expecting anybody to be awake. And my thought is like, if she reacted that calmly to the situation, like she's seen some shit. She's like, oh, this is all you got? Okay.
She has 37 grandkids.
Yeah. Just hearing that, I was like, she has been through a lot.
She's been through some shit.
God. But yeah, she's like, your mom raised you like that?
Oh, hell
She
no.
wasn't holding back emotionally, physically, anything. And I love it.
Verbally, I'm here for it. Did they get the guy?
I didn't follow up on that because it was from 2014, and just trying to dig that far back. But at the end of that article, they were still looking for him. But I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure, at least 20 of those 37 grandkids banded together and tracked him down.
Probably.
Yeah, they could have had their own familial search party going on.
Well, I hope this ruined boiled sausages for this guy for life. That's all I got.
You're right.
Like, I'll never look at sausage water the same way. None of us will.
Yeah, normally I think so fondly of it,
It's like holy water.
Didn't feel good, and it really probably didn't smell good either.
Oh,
no.
God.
That's the thing. You would track him down on smell alone.
Exactly. From the shame, desperation, sweat from running, and the sausage water combined, you got like a 30-mile radius you're going to be detected.
Gross.
Yeah, they probably just went, I smell him.
He's around here somewhere.
Yeah.
The smell of burnt skin and sausage water.
I'm hungry.
Oh,
I know. It would take more than that to faze me. I'm like, I could still eat. It's fine.
You're like, whatever.
Totally.
It's fine. So this one was just funny to me. So this was in Kaufman County, Texas, which is like Terrell, which I'm not actually sure where that's located because Texas is a really big state and who knows. This was also from earlier this year. In a bizarre turn of events that has left local law enforcement scratching their heads, Markel Williams, who was 30, found himself in a heap of trouble after refusing to comply with a police officer's request to stop due to an outstanding warrant. Instead of simply addressing the warrant, Williams decided to walk away, claiming He did not have time for that. He was just like, nope, I don't have time for this. I am not dealing with this.
Where are men getting this audacity?
I don't know. So this was back in February. The Terrell police officers, they were dispatched to the 1000 block of W. Moore Avenue for a welfare concern. After the initial encounter with Williams was concluded, Officer D. Bridges was notified about an active warrant for Terrell Police Department. So they contacted him back on a different street of Lee Street, informing him about the warrant. And he was like, no, I don't have time for that. He tried to leave the scene. And then the officer ordered him to stop. So, of course, Williams was like, absolutely not. And then they started getting into a struggle. But Williams was double fisting a coffee and a beer while trying to wrestle the cops. I mean, you got to start your day somehow, right? I don't know if it was like sip of coffee, sip of beer.
Choices were made that day.
Exactly. While wrestling the officer, trying to keep him from like getting him for the warrant. Williams, the dude who didn't have time, he managed to shove the officer with his drinks, causing significant injury to the officer's finger. In a frantic bit of freedom, he fled and barricaded himself in his home, prompting a SWAT team response. After an intense standoff, he was finally extracted from his residence and taken into custody. So he didn't have time for it, but it ended up taking way more time than it would have.
Isn't that like the lesson we all learn? Like when you're in a hurry, it always takes longer.
It always takes longer when you're trying to rush. It never goes the way you think it's going to. I don't know if maybe the coffee was hot and he was just like, I really just want to drink this coffee and this beer. Like, can I just have my morning?
He was channeling his inner 83-year-old woman.
Right.
It did seem kind of similar in that way.
There's so much that could be solved if that was like a feasible action to take. Like there's so many times I personally wish I could just be like, I just don't have time for that right now. And then it would stop. But again, I feel like this is just another person living in Delulu land that was like, no, it's my world. Everyone else is just living in it. And it's like,
cops are never going to be like, oh, okay. It's just walk away.
Yeah,
see you later.
Enjoy your coffee. We'll catch up with you here in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, enjoy your coffee. Enjoy your beer. Bye. Yeah, you don't have time? I'm sorry. I thought you actually did.
And then it turned into a whole ass SWAT standoff.
Yeah, to lead to SWAT. I didn't expect that.
Like, do you have time for a whole SWAT invasion?
Apparently.
How about that, dude?
I mean, I'm sure he probably at least got to finish his drinks while he was sitting in his house.
Probably.
I hope so. I would have been doing something for hydration, though. I don't know about a beer and coffee.
Right.
I would have just spiked the coffee and had a water.
Feel very parched after all
and
of
I
that.
feel like the poo after drinking both those things just isn't going to be right.
The gurgles, it's just not, while in a SWAT standoff.
Yeah.
You're nervous. You've got the nervous shits, coffee, and a beer. You're asking for just a bathroom disaster.
Well, definitely asking for trouble.
Trouble in all departments. That is just so silly. The audacity of some people.
Yeah.
Yes, these were amazing.
That was super fun.
It was fun.
So before we sign out here, do you guys want to tell our listeners everywhere they can find you? Do you take listener requests? If so, how so? And let them know where to find you and where to listen.
You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Weird True Crime. We also have our website, weirdtruecrime.com, where you can send us requests in our contact form for either dumb criminals or actual cases. If you have like a personal case to you or a case that you have followed for a really long time that you want us to take a look at, you can send those our way. And you can also email us at weirdtruecrime@gmail.com or, DM us on Instagram. We love hearing from people and we're always open to suggestions and tales. So yeah, this was so fun. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for being on here and thanks for bringing some crimes because I'm on kind of a heavy week because I'm got a wedding this month that I'm doing. So it's, trying to buy a little extra time. But, and you guys are on with Fire Eyes Media, right?
Yeah, we're with Fire Eyes Media. It's still so new that I'm not used to saying it, but those ladies are amazing and we're so happy to be part of their team and have their support. So
the Jays rule.
Yeah, the Jays are awesome.
Yeah, I love them both. And our girl Alicia's got her new show with them too with Truly Twisted.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we've got a collab coming up with her too. So
fun.
I know. It's all love.
Well, again, thank you both so much. That was really fun to dive into those wackier crimes and headlines with you all. And I hope everyone out there is having the best week. And just remember, no matter the crime, big or small, in the end, we're all doomed.
Doomed to get a face full of sausage water.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. If you want more fun with Amanda and I, join our Patreon. We've got movie nights, bonus content, and ad-free episodes. Find us on social media to watch clips, view pictures, and interact with us. Do you have a petty crime of your own or want to suggest one? Send your stories to livelaughlarceny@gmail.com or DM us on any of our socials. We need more listener story episodes. And help support our show by giving us 5 stars wherever you rate podcasts. It really helps.